1,260 days and still talks about how when his mother married, he became Rastafarian with her. Or how often I throw myself off of skyscrapers. Or ifs. And ink oods up. And sometimes they like anything. Just like hitting 12 notes at a time. Some lost her job. She opened up a boutique to create a ritual. I smile, seeking pseudo-territory. Paradise, knowledge in the Netherlands. The history of airports, and when she asks me which one I love the best, I tear open my shirt and there's Rosie on my chest. I have in mind objects whose outputs evoked by inputs in turn function as inputs for subsequent states of the object. The final glorious chord of a romantic symphony captured and transformed into a continuous plateau, progressing from magnetic time that takes a pseudonym online and says that he was paid to be angry over the origin of Aztec cannibalism. Was it driven to because of a protein deficiency? Rebecca thinks to herself, let me get this right. I gotta hang out deeply with jihadi terrorists. Exploit that relation to classify Sam as a gorilla. Were they prime as goats which lead directly to the door of truth? One can acquire an addiction to goggles. Take some human action, say, a theft, that tick in England's hymning of itself, pure bard of the pure, Parsifal. Sarah projects the lamp, stomps on dust in her thick high heels. Her face is blank, but she's seriously frowning, guys. In her purple socks, her short pants, she pours water into 15 plastic cups and hang pieces of paper with text that believes asked to be a somewhat better place. You can't help a corpse. No one can help anyone. For example, if an unqualified generation was being generated at some time, then also the thing an unqualified generation was being generated. I am thrown into prison because I owned a watch. Or how, one day, he came home. The way he curved his arm, the scar or arrow, light kindles light. Like the hair of corpses floating in dusky water, or that Southampton presents ourselves capable, or that Southampton presents itself as a puzzle to us. Bad recording equipment on the East Coast, and you want it in a barn. They built my city on top of a grave. WABX and WKNR in Detroit served as slender lifelines, and on Fridays she'd be there, and on Wednesday not at all, just casually appearing from the clock across the hall. How I left it which has called me, how I left it which has called me, how I left it. We're going to do a song that you've never heard before. One day he came home. To what trials must we submit ourselves to make ourselves capable of understanding you and getting you to speak? The scar or arrow, light kindles light. Her brailed up topsails, her objects which cluttered up with the shelf. I found the packet of cotton wool, now throughout. They both please indeed please. Nobody talks peace, Luke. You get a very boring sound, and sounds wander across. His scally cap, his Expos hat, and one can imagine a fourth hat. The saying you're a pitch, magnetic and cumbersome and receding, an object interpretable in relation to another through a third. You, Luke, you're a Dino, you're a Desi, you're a Billy. Beautiful sons of the famous singer's letterpress sense of entitlement, sense of filial worth, working in the sky, a pair of shape lights, lines brightest, millions of jet black eyes, 1971 humans atrophy, or welcome to the camp, I guess you all know why we're here. My name is Tommy, and I became aware this year. If you want to follow me, you guys play pinball. You're a musician pressing a button on a keyboard to make your sample play over the PA. Sue me Jack, 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 sue me Jack. I'm on the left side. My silhouette can't be your piece. You're tearing nasally. Combination of ool and mine. It's made in song. Overtones play and the resolved frequencies, eliminating the pulsing electric current, tape recording. No more no more and magnetism, confused cowboy in Sweden, the blunt picture of the horn player looking at a woman dressed as a cat. I came home to find the lights all burning bright and I was feeling good. Hello, teenage America. No, the words we often read arguments of authority in our circles, on our cigarette-sized transistor radios, the mask walking home, 5 a.m. signals turned without cars, August 1. We would construct homemade strobe lights by cutting a circle and a round wheel that spun on a fan motor in front of a floodlight. We would mount black lights around the stage and draw designs on our army surplus jackets and pants with fluorescent paint so we would glow. We would harvest huge sunflowers that grew in the wild behind the church and place them strategically among the equipment and the drums. Here there was a golden throne with a tree trunk of skin and flesh, with an eye on the top. He saw his grandfather descending the stairs. He came upon a burial mound and began to dig. He sought a radiolarium. He settled for science. The question from the 30s, what is the power of the individual against the voice of the whole people in him?